Alola, everyone. My name is jakepeter, and we're just 4 days away until Pokemon Sun and Moon comes out, and I'm so hype. Today, we are talking about how there are going to be no more gyms in Pokemon Sun and Moon, and instead, we're going to be getting these island challenges and trials. It's very, very great, and I'm kind of digging the concept. Gyms are not overplayed, but they are, only so many things you can do with them. So instead of, walking into a gym, maybe solving a couple puzzles to get around and beating trainers, there are now going to be many things for us to go do. In the demo, we actually experienced firsthand what a trial could potentially look like. And that involved taking pictures of some stuff and beating Pokemon at the end. Now, that was a very mini trial, as one could expect, but it was very interesting, and it shows off more than what we would originally expect. And we will get into more about that in just one moment here. But I will be reading these off and talking about what I think of them. So the Island Challenge, one aspect of the unique culture that has developed in the Alola region is the Island Challenge, an adventurous rite that involves traveling through each of the 4 islands. This event helps young people grow into fine Pokemon trainers. As the main character of Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, you yourself are destined to attempt this island challenge. So it's basically, right off the bat, telling us that yes, this is kind of your purpose, and it's the purpose of many young people to go and do. So that's giving your character purpose right at the start of the game, which is kind of cool. The other games are kind of like, yeah, there's this Elite Four thing that you can go beat and collect some gym badges along the way, but we really want you to collect all the Pokemon that are out there. Now, Professor Kukui might ask us to go capture all the Pokemon to fill a Pokédex, but he might not. Time will only tell on that. So we have the Island Challenge trials. To complete the Island Challenge, young trial goers must overcome the trials in store on each of the 4 islands. These trials are not limited to battling with Pokemon. They take a variety of forms, such as finding items or completing tests of knowledge. You'll not be able to accomplish them with ordinary methods. So that's saying that there might be extra rule sets, so use only fighting moves for this battle, use only dark-type Pokemon, for example. Those are things that I'm possibly expecting there to be for this game. Complete it using Pokemon that are not yours, and you'll be given a set of extra Pokemon to use. It's things like that. Taking pictures of Pokemon, as we saw in the demo, that was something that we had in those sorts. And this kind of is just a little sneak peek at some of these things. And look, your task will be to find the difference between the two. And then here's a Lapras, so we must be riding through water on something. I have no idea what this other thing is, but we got the Lapras back there, our Poke Ride. And so here we're starting a new trial with our lovely friend right there, who is not Mallow, by the way. That one is not Mallow. And here we have Totem Pokemon. At the end of each trial, a mighty Pokemon known as a Totem Pokemon will be waiting. A Totem Pokemon is much larger than others of its species, and its body is enveloped in a special aura. Now, these Pokemon are quite literally larger versions of themselves, so it's going to be interesting. And they actually have the special ability of bringing in friends to fight alongside them. So we can get Prior Evolutions. Here we can get Gumshoes in there with Yungoos. And it's a 1v2. So that was very interesting. It's an interesting concept. Of course, I can say interesting as many times as I want, and you probably didn't even notice until I said something. But I like that. I'm sure the Pokemon that it calls in is going to be just like any other Pokemon in the wild. But if it's outside of your level range, it'll be too much, and it will force you to go train. But as long as you can take everything out in a timely manner, you should be all good to go. And that's kind of cool. So you'll always see a Totem Pokemon at the end of each trial that you go through, and it's kind of cool. Sophisticated combos in SOS. There we go. So we're talking about the ally Pokemon that they're able to pull in. When Totem Pokemon battle, they summon ally Pokemon to join them. With the support of these allies, the Totem Pokemon becomes even more powerful, and it seems that Pokemon other than Totem Pokemon sometimes call on allies to aid them. Okay, so that's, yeah. So it might be kind of similar to horde battles in that sense, but we don't know how it'll be until we actually get to play the game. So we'll find out what that means, if it's more than just a horde battle type thing. And here we have the Grand Trials. The final trial on each island is called the Grand Trial. It is a Pokemon battle against the Kahuna, who leads that island. If a trial goer succeeds in clearing this Grand Trial, he or she will be publicly recognized as having cleared all of the island trials and can move on to the next island. Old Hala here will also be going all out. Let the Grand Trial begin! And then you're challenged by Island Kahuna Hala. And he's kind of your mentor when you come on. He's the first Grand Trial captain with Mele Mele Island, the one that you are taking residence in. And it's kind of cool with how all of this is going to play out, with it taking over gyms. So there's only one Grand Trial per island, and there are 4 islands. So there'll still be, these, like, semi-captains, trial captains, for us to take out, as well as the Grand Trial Kahunas. So there's those. If you hear captain, it's probably referring to the first, and the Kahunas, definitely referring to this guy and the other 3 that are actually chosen by the Tapu Pokemon. So I'm thinking, they're supposed to be resemblant of the Kahunas, or of the Tapu of their area. As we can see, we have Tapu Koko, who is, yellow, and this Kahuna is wearing yellow. I believe it's the same for the other ones. I could be wrong. You can let me know in the comment section if I'm giving you false information here. I don't mean to do this, give false information, but sometimes I say stuff when I don't mean it entirely, because I said it out of line, out of turn, or whatever we're going to say. Yeah, there were also some speculation of having some empty plots on the islands when there was some digging in the demo. Especially, we saw a champ in the demo area in the city we start in, of an empty lot. What could the empty lot possibly mean? Is there something after we beat the main game to where we can have a gym pop up? I don't know. And what makes it even fishier is that when you first encounter the Pokemon League, it is being built, with, of course, you probably going to be able to fight after you've beaten all the Kahunas. But it's being built, so could that mean that many other things are going to be built? But yeah, let me know what you think of this whole new system of quote-unquote gyms, because I'm excited for it myself. But I want to know if you're excited, or if you're kind of bummed that we're missing out on the gym experience. Tomorrow we will be talking about the Z moves that we've all been revealed about, and I'm excited to share my thoughts on those Z moves, so you better tune in for tomorrow's video. But yeah, definitely leave a like if you enjoy giant Pokemon, subscribe if you want to be a Kahuna, and until next time, Alola.